to see everyone this morning on a beautiful sunny day. Lord's house. We're in the Lord's house this morning. Glad to be here. We come for one purpose, and that's to worship Him. We have come into His house to worship Him. That's what we came for. Good to see everybody. Let's stand and sing this little chorus. And when you stand up, shake hands with your neighbor there and tell them you love them. Tell them how pretty they are. Tell them you're glad to see them in the house of the Lord this morning. Let's give Jesus a big hand before we start. Amen. We have come into His house, gathered in His name to worship Him. We have come into His house, gathered in His name to worship Him. We have come into His house, gathered in His name to worship Christ the Lord. Worship Him, Jesus Christ the Lord. So forget about yourself and concentrate on Him and worship Him. So forget about yourself, concentrate on Him and worship Him. So forget about yourself, concentrate on Him and worship Christ the Lord. Worship Him, Jesus Christ the Lord. Let us lift up holy hands, magnify His name and worship Him. Let us lift up holy hands and magnify His name and worship Him. Let us lift up holy hands and magnify His name and worship Christ the Lord. Worship Him, Jesus Christ the Lord. Let us lift up holy hands and magnify His name and worship Him. Let us lift up holy hands, magnify His name and worship Him. Let us lift up holy hands, magnify His name and worship Christ the Lord. Worship Him, Jesus Christ the Lord. Turn to page 203 in the red hymn, 203.
Bless His name this morning.
We'll see someday, someday, and I will have an evening peace someday, someday. Sing it. Someday, some happy day from sin set free. I'll live with Christ for a someday, someday. No more in darkness I will roam someday, someday, someday. I'll rest eternally at home someday, someday, someday. Some happy day of sin I'm pleased. I'll live with Christ for a someday, someday. Those gone before me I shall meet someday, someday. My loved ones will my spirit greet someday, someday. Sing it out. Someday, some happy day from sin set free. I'll live this last verse. My loving Savior I shall see someday, someday. With Him in glory I shall be someday, someday, someday. Some happy day from sin, set free. I'll live with Christ for a someday, someday. Amen. What a day.
Bless us.
Amen. Someday we're going to be going home, and I think it's going to be soon.
Amen.
Welcome to Freedom Fellowship this morning. We appreciate you being here. Before we get started, do we have any visitors for the first time today? Can you raise your hand?
Yes.
Amen. Thank you. We appreciate you being here. We got a little visitor packet for you. If you wouldn't mind filling out the visitor's card and placing an offering when it comes by, we appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate you. Yes.
Absolutely. We appreciate you being here. We know that you could be other places, but we're glad you chose here to be with us.
Yes.
So, I was going to tell Roy, you're going to have to quit spitting when you preach because everybody keeps moving back.
Let's see what we're going to do. It's a big church. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put 3 pews in it and put them all the way across the church, and that way everybody's going to be on the front row.
Or we're going to start handing out towels when they come in, one of the two. We'll hand out little golf towels.
He's going to sell handkerchiefs too.
Oh, Lord. It's so good to be able to come into the house, God's house and laugh a little bit. I'll come to the altar. Let's get started with a word of prayer and get some announcements made and get this on the road. All that can and will, come on up and let's start off with prayer. Spitting is me starting to sing. He'll be out in the backyard.
Amen.
Laid it up here, and I was like, "Oh Lord, I'm gonna chase everybody out." Oh Lordy, I am again glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm saved. I'm glad I've got a new home waiting for me. Most of all, I'm glad I got new eyes waiting for me. A couple of announcements we'll make is. The women's meeting is going to be July the 27th, right? All right. Bible school is coming up this Friday and Saturday. Wednesday night they're going to try to decorate a little bit. If you're willing to stick around and help after service, to help them decorate.
And then again on Thursday too, at 6.
You gonna decorate first?
Yeah, Wednesday after service and then again Thursday at 6, if everybody can come out and help, that'd be great.
If you'd just wait for a minute. So impatient. They're also going to do it Thursday after 6, if you're willing to come out. Don't forget to pick up a couple extra cans for a food pantry. Help us to stock it. It'll help somebody out there, I'm sure.
How many did we feed yesterday? 111.
111.
Got fed yesterday.
Amen. Give them a good meal. That helps. I don't know about y'all, but I know we got a bunch of rain over where we live. It started pouring down so bad, I thought I missed God's email, and I should have been building the ark. It was raining hard. I was like, oh, Lordy, I missed that email. But it stopped when we needed the rain. We really did. Our offering last week was $1,412. So we're doing good. We appreciate your contributions. It always helps. And it helps keep God's mission going. It helps us keep our mission going. It helps us to help the less fortunate. We're all blessed in one way or the other. Some are blessed a little bit better than others. And when we can help those who are less fortunate, it blesses them and it blesses us as well. And God watches over us. If we stand, have the ushers come forward.
Let me make this announcement. We're going to have men's prayer breakfast with me.
Oh, that's right.
July 19th.
With me, I commend Jason after church.
I did mean,
5 minutes. We need to see you after church.
I did forget to mention that.